I feel like in Australia, we would be a better place kind of country if, and when people come out of high school, instead of going off to the military like some countries do, then I reckon we would end up being a pretty well-run country.
Oh yeah, you're going to have people coming out of that and saying, shit, I learned how to handle pressure. We have to solve it somehow, like right now.
And the resilience, man, because you get through that 2 or 3 hours and then you got a few hours rest, and because it's coming at you again, just day after day after day.
We'll sit down and have a cigarette and chat later.
Well, that's exactly what happens too, man. You sit out the day before you clean up, having a dart and just recapping on everything that either went well or didn't.
Yeah.
Love it.
But it's character building.
It is definitely character building, dude, man. Like, I'm 23. I got offered a role to run a kitchen. I'm living in Adelaide, so I got to run. I was the head chef for my first kitchen at 23, which was a lot of fun, man. I really enjoyed that. And then exec chef at 27, and you kind of talk about the high pressure situation. I often get asked, like, do I miss cooking? I don't. That's not what I miss. Like, what I loved about that period of my life. And if you get that right, and you got a great team of people around you, you get to experience that twice a day, every day. So like, for every downside, there's the upside. So he starts to roll out these pizza ovens to these folks who are picking up for rental, and he has no plan other than he had to pay the bills, right? It's literally built by friggin' accident. And as a side note, I had the pleasure of hanging out with some very smart, financially minded people who describe this accidental product as like a piece of financial engineering genius, which I think is hilarious. But actually the design in the product, Scotty, which is where it still resonates today, picked up the old oven, sent out a new oven, new rental contract, customers happy, everyone's happy.
Which is one of the core features today.
Still today.
The information provided is for general information and educational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. You should consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any investment or financial decisions. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Scottie G Show. Today's episode holds a special place in my heart, being about the hospitality industry. When I'm not podcasting, which is most of the time, my business is doing exactly that, setting up cafes and restaurants. So it is with great pleasure that I introduce my guest today, Mr. Jeremy Mangan from SilverChef, CEO. How are you?
I'm really well, man. Thank you so much for having me. Very, very happy to be here.
Yeah, this is good. Welcome to the pod. I asked you before the podcast, how many podcasts have you done?
Brand new. This is my very first podcast. Yeah, man. So thank you again.
Love really being a part of that, because I remember doing my podcast and my very, very first podcast as a host, obviously.
Yes.
And I invited Melina, my wife, to be my guest.
Yeah.
Because I said, if I'm going to fuck it up,
best
it's with her.
100%.
No one's going to judge.
Full
we can mess it up together. And like, even if it was a disaster, it didn't matter. So even if we mess this one up, don't worry.
It won't matter. I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all. You might pin it. Who knows where we end up going today, man. That's so nice. Oh, I love that, man. A bit of a safety net as well. Love having a partner that's backing you in, man. That's really nice.
Yeah, she's good. And the last episode that we just recorded, because it was a topic that was not top of my knowledge, she co-hosted with me.
Yeah, I love that. Good on her. And has she got background in it?
In podcasting?
Yeah.
No, but in front of the camera, plenty.
Oh, yeah,
so part of her business is, because she sells clothing, she's on the camera all the time. Stories every single day, posting, doing live try-ons, all sorts of stuff. So for her, being in front of the camera is easy.
Yeah, love that.
And she doesn't mind a chat.
Oh, I bet. Living with you, mate, I can only imagine she'd have to. And do you, because I'm always curious about this, like, is there a bit of a push from her into this for you, or is this all?
Not at all.
Yeah,
no,
interesting.
Not at all.
Why the pod?
Up until last year, I had zero, like on my personal page, I had zero posts. Zero stories, zero posts. Just communicate with friends. See what's going on. Use it for a bit of work and stuff like that. See what's going on. Yash would do all the Hospitality World Direct stuff. My personal page was just there.
You'll never be on socials whatsoever.
No, never. And then when the conversation started at work to create the Hospitality World Direct show, which was going to be a hospitality, purely hospitality, talking to chefs, finance, designers, anyone in that sort of hospo space. And I thought, that'd be be a good idea. And then the more I thought about it, I wanted to do something broad where I could still talk about hospo whenever I wanted, but also bring in guests and talk about anything. Anything and everything. And I'm glad I did that because it's been exciting.
Well, I think that's right, man. Certainly, obviously, a big fan of your podcast. I've watched them all, and that's what I've enjoyed most about it. Like, obviously, I know your background, and we've known each other for a little while, but being able to kind of reach out into the other topics. So yeah, like the musician you had on there.
Yes.
And all those, I just think it's fun, man. It's really cool.
And I got a couple more musicians coming. So it's funny, once I have a chat in a particular sort of genre, it's funny how different opportunities start coming either to me, or it opens up my headspace and says, hey, what about talking to this person or that person? Or even now when I'm out in an event, I have this different approach when I'm networking. Because I would always network. You know, I loved that, you know, about business and just the general interest of, hey, what do you do? You know, when you're chatting to someone, you know, it's always interesting to network with people. Now I have this different mindset of when someone tells me what they do and I start hearing their story, that little mouse in the background's going, ask them to come on the pod. That'd be great. So it's added this new excitement to meeting people.
Love it. Hey, I love that, man. We should figure this out, I reckon, because I feel like there's definitely some hospitality-specific conversations that we could be having. Love to be a part of that, man. That'd be good fun.
Awesome.
Yeah, just a little plug for myself there. Good man.
Now, before we start talking about SilverChef and how great it is and all the ways that it can help businesses, tell us a little bit about yourself, your own personal journey, your own career.
Yeah. All right. Mate, I don't know, the way I would describe myself is like a hospitality tragic, man. I've been in it my whole life. I started washing dishes as a 15-year-old punk kid, like think dreads halfway down the back, piercings, the whole bit in the 90s. And
we all had bad hair in the 90s.
Well, yeah, well, like, look what happened to us. So, and I don't know, man, like my mum was, my folks were kind of hardworking people. Actually, my dad, he's no longer with us, but he was a cop his whole life. And I kind of grew up in a household in Adelaide which was quite low socioeconomic, like hardworking parents. Like I can specifically remember through the 80s, mum and dad struggling, and I was too young to really understand what it meant, but it was hard. And I can reflect on that now, of course. But mate, dad worked shift work. He had a lawn mowing round. He was like an entrepreneurial dude. He would like get government computers that were redundant, redo them and sell them to our friends and family. Like he's always ripping into something like that.
He's always on the hustle.
Always on the hustle. And same for my mum, like she worked in admin mainly in the hospitality industry. But mate, I can remember my auntie coming over and looking after us 3 kids, got an older brother and a younger sister. And mum and dad were going and carrying plates for a wedding venue in Adelaide, like, and all of that, frankly, man, I know it now, but just to hang on to the house. Interest rates through the roof and all those kind of things, those complex things that they were dealing with in the 80s. And then kind of as time went on, mum and dad dug themselves out of that hole and ended up kind of building a really nice life for themselves. And then when it got to, I don't know, like as long as I can remember, mum and dad were always pretty strict on a bunch of things. And one of the things were, it was either you do a trade or you go to uni. Like school and that school environment never really worked for me, Scotty. Like I know that now, like I could do stuff. And maths made sense to me and I could make my way through all of that. But sitting in a classroom all day, really, I struggled with that. And actually, honestly, how I learned today, I know that about myself. I couldn't go and do a classroom. I could do this and learn.
Now they just say every kid's got ADHD, but we all had it.
Well, yeah, no, I think it's funny, man. Like, mate, I look at some of the stuff that my mum does and how she lines shit up, and I'm like, ADHD's been out forever. Anyway, not medicated. We shouldn't joke about that shit, Scotty. But anyway, so I wanted to save up for a car. Mum had the ability because the hotel group that she was working in, that had, you know, you can go on as a 15-year-old and whatever. $7 or $8 an hour washing dishes. So I went and did that. And again, I didn't know it at the time, but I think I'm like grateful because mum and dad were so hardworking and that was the environment that I knew. So when I joined the workforce, I just worked hard. Like,
and you had seen that work ethic.
It's exactly right. And I didn't know different. Like it was just what it was. And then But then, as you know, like as a business owner, when you find people that are cracking in and trying to solve problems or work hard for themselves, not because you're yelling at them, because they're doing it for themselves, you want more for them, for those people. So the exec chef I had at the time, I was so young, I'll never forget him though, man. He's like 6'4", built like a brick shit house, a real scary guy. And he bellowed at me from across the kitchen one night. I said, "Jazzo, you should be an apprentice." And I was like, that is my ticket out of school, man. I am in, sign me up. So we did that.
How old are you at this
So
stage?
I'm like 16 now.
Yep.
And I'm kind of getting to the end of year 11 by then. And I had to cut a deal with mum and dad actually. So it's like October or whatever. And mum and dad said, "You can go and do that, but you need to finish year 11. So I started my apprenticeship and I finished year 11 at the same time, and I scraped my way through and it was fine. But I think like when I love thinking about this, man. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about it. There's just so many things about the hospitality industry that just made my life what it is.
Yep.
I mentioned this dude Scottie before, this big exec chef. I've not seen him for many, many years, but I reflect on that and I'm like, he was an ideal leader in my mind at the time. Again, hindsight's 2020, but he was like a scary dude. He asked questions. He found a way to teach us to do things that were our own version of it. You know, like a comparison might be if I had Tyson, the sous chef. He was a bit of a dick, frankly. I'm sure he's never going to hear this podcast. But sorry, Tyson. If you do hear this, you were a dick. But yeah, he would stand over us and trying to learn to julienne carrot as an example, right? And he wouldn't let you go to figure it out. This is how you do it, and you have to do it the way that I've done it, right? Yep. That was his approach. Yep. Scottie would come over and go, "I'm going to show you how to do it. And now it's your job to figure out your most efficient and effective way of making that happen."
Because we're all different, right?
Because we're all different.
What works for Tyson doesn't necessarily work for you.
Exactly right. And so I love that. And the other thing that, and Scottie would do this thing, he was like scary as fuck, genuinely. Like if you messed up in service or you didn't cover something properly, geez, man, he would rip the shit out of you. But every night, at 5:30 before service would start, he would cook what he would call family dinner, and all of us apprentices, us juniors, would go downstairs and we would all have a meal together before the chaos of services started. And things like this, I just think, pretty unique experience. Anyway,
and you were learning about different management styles.
Yeah, leadership, high pressure situations, communication, these kind of things. Like as a 16-year-old kid, not really knowing that was what was going on, but now you know it and you go, yeah, that was like it was. I'm super grateful for that experience.
And when you talk about communication and high pressure situations, people don't understand if they've never worked in a commercial kitchen.
Oh, Scottie.
The actual pressure.
Oh, man, you've nailed it. And
because you've got people sitting down waiting for their food. In an office situation, you've got time to sort things out. You can sort of, all right, let's sit down, let's have a meeting.
Yeah, 100%.
Whereas in the kitchen, it's got to happen
You're giving me goosebumps thinking about it, man. Because that is like the funnest part is this idea that for most hospitality operations is that you get in the morning, particularly back of house, but front of house cop it too, is you got a couple of hours to get your shit organised because that people are coming and you can't stop that. Yep. You don't know what they're going to order. You know how busy it's going to be. The booking sheet is always an indication of what's going on. And then really at some point, right before service starts, whether it's lunch or dinner, is you're looking around at the people that you've got in that kitchen and it's go time. Regardless of what you're feeling like at home, you're about to get hammered, there's music, there's all of this diverse kind of perspective going on, and you're jammed into that situation mostly twice a friggin' day, man. And you learn. I love that. I often joke about this. Like, I feel like in Australia, we would be a better place kind of country if when people come out of high school, instead of going off to the military like some countries do, you should go and do 2 years in hospitality, I think.
That's
or
awesome.
retail,
I love
man.
that.
Go and do that.
Yeah.
Then I reckon we would end up being a pretty well-run country.
Oh yeah, you're going to have people coming out of that and saying, shit, I learned how to handle pressure. Yes. How to, when there's an issue, we have to solve it somehow, like right now.
Yeah.
There's no, let's sort this out later. We got to fix it right now.
And the resilience, man, because you get through that 2 or 3 hours and then you got a few hours rest, and because it's coming at you again, just day after day after day.
And also knowing when your rest time is. We can't rest now.
That's right.
It's go time now.
Yeah.
We'll sit down and have a cigarette and chat later.
Well, that's exactly what happens too. When you sit out the back before you clean up, having a dart and just recapping on everything that either went well or didn't.
Yep.
Love it.
But it's character building.
It is definitely character building, dude. And I think anyone that's spent any real time in the industry, it's like a connection point. It's one of the great things about the industry. It's kind of next person up, is that because it's such a transient industry, you'll end up with a team that looks like this today. And then tomorrow, that team of people looks entirely different. Sure. It's next person up. So trying to figure out how to make the most out of that collective intelligence and create an environment where people can rock up and contribute, and while also being themselves. Because hospitality folk are a pretty eclectic bunch.
Yep.
And
like you said, today you're working with father of 3, lives around the corner.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow you're working with 20-year-old Colombian backpacker
100%.
who's just touring the world and won't be there in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Like it's just...
Yeah, and it's consistent. It's just really what happens. It's fun. So I love that, man. And I think, and what happened, I never really intended to be a chef. But I kind of fell into it. Then I fell in love with it. And there's so many things, like music that I listen to now. It's like, it just reminds me of those high pressure situations, just the funnest times, man. It's so good. And then I was pretty lucky, man. Like I'm 23. I got offered a role to run a kitchen. I'm living in Adelaide. So I got to run, I was the head chef for my first kitchen at 23, which was a lot of fun, man. I really enjoyed that. And then exec chef at 27, and so I spent a lot of time solving different problems, man. And you kind of talk about the high pressure situation. I often get asked, like, do I miss cooking? I don't. That's not what I miss. Like, what I loved about that period of my life was I loved the adrenaline of service. Like, that's probably the thing that I miss the most.
The noises, the smell,
and just the chaos,
the vibe.
Yeah, 100%.
And then the good feeling when you actually delivered.
Yeah, you've nailed it, dude. And if you get that right, and you got a great team of people around you, you get to experience that twice a day, every day. Yeah. So like for every downside, there's the upside.
Better than any drug.
Better than any drug. Better than any drug, from what I've heard, anyway. And then. So we did all that, mate, and that was wicked. I think the other thing I feel like that hospitality has given me, or at least my experiences in hospitality, is I love the creativity of the food. I love the people. But my favourite part was actually just trying to figure out how to make money out of these bloody kitchens, mate. Because you want to choose a tough challenge to solve. It's trying to take a bunch of produce and turn it into some food that people want to buy and sell it in a way that actually makes money, man.
Keep them coming back.
Yeah.
Reduce wastage and
all of that stuff, man. Yeah. So I think that was cool. Like and I still enjoy that today, but that's something that I took out of my time. But mate, we'll talk about like partners and kind of backing it, the importance of having someone in your corner. My wonderful wife, we'd I'd in my mind kind of had this timeline of 30, got to get out. It can't be an industry.
Yep.
It is a young person's game, man. I was so afraid of turning into a 50-year-old grumpy chef, which is real. So I was afraid of that. And anyway, and so I can remember. Actually, I'll shout him out. He'll probably never hear this, but Chris Davies now actually is the head of football for Carlton. He was my CEO at the time, and as exec chef. And I remember sitting down with him, having coffee weekly, just checking in with him. And Scottie, you could imagine this guy. He's like smelt way better than I did, dressed way better than I did. And I just remember looking at him, going, "Man, that job that looks way better than what I'm doing right now." And so then I kind of decided that I needed to get a pathway into some corporate experience because I couldn't get that in hospitality. So I rang a friend of mine who was a fishmonger. He'd been selling me seafood for 10 years. And I was like, hey man, I could probably find a couple of hours a day every few days. Give me a polo shirt. I'll run around and speak to some chefs. I think I could sell you some more seafood. Don't pay me.
So your initial, I suppose, go-to was stay in the hospo game.
It was.
I'll get into out of the kitchen, but still in hospo.
Yeah, exactly right. Because I felt it was like an easy, like anything, man. Like you build relationships, it's your network, and you just leverage it. So I did that, and I did commission-only sales for a few hours a week, and I found my feet. Like I'm incredibly grateful for that opportunity. It was fun, and then from there it opened up doors. So when I decided to pull the pin on being a chef, mate, I took a 50% pay cut and went and took a gig selling frozen seafood door to door to hospitality operators. And that was a tough gig, man. So we had a mortgage, we had our second baby on the way, and Renee knew I wanted this thing, Renee, my wife.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. The pay decrease it hurt, but were the hours better? Were you?
Oh, Scottie.
So were you? So is that what sort of kept you?
Do you know what, mate? That's a good question. My genuine motivation was I wanted to be dressed well and not smell like deep fryer and be there for my family, right? So you got to get out by 30. So that's my thinking. So to take a pay cut was like a big deal. And it put us under a huge amount of pressure. Sure. I'm not joking. But so Renee's contribution to this is because she knew how important this was to me. She went and took a friggin' gig, pregnant mum, second baby. We had our eldest at home I call her 18 months. So she took a gig counting hotel takings from a pub down the road 6 days a week, 4 o'clock in the morning, man, every morning. She'd get up and go and do 3 hours worth of work. I would get our daughter organised in the morning, drop our daughter off to Renee at the pub. She would finish counting the takings, go home and do her full day at home with our daughter, and I would go off to work.
With the harder job, being mum.
Way harder, man. Oh, it's the stories. Well, you know that. I know, and you know, so when it gives me goosebumps now. Like I genuinely feel like the support that Renee provided there, man, and the sacrifices that she made, and those hard days, and they were hard. But mate, it opened up crazy amounts of opportunity. Yeah. So I ended up taking a job with a hospitality equipment dealer who was trying to build his business. He was mainly focused on laundry and wanted to buid up his hospitality.
Is this still in SA?
It's in Adelaide, yeah. And I love this connection, by the way, is that actually a lot of the exhaust canopies that we were putting in Adelaide, like I sold CFM fans, which is your other business, obviously. So all those years ago, we're talking 15, 16, 17 years ago.
We've gone full circle. Here we are.
Man, which I love that.
Still, how good's that?
Yeah. So anyway, so I went and did, I went and started trying to do some design and construct in commercial kitchens, man. No different than your business. And I remember like, there's fun stuff about that too, but mate, you'll recognise this. I remember my first week, the wonderful dealer principal thought he would do me the favour of lining me up with every manufacturer sales rep, just lined up out my door to come and do hour-long training sessions. Oh my God. Yeah. So I sit through these sessions and I just freaking hated it, man. It was so tough. I was like, what have I got myself into here? Like, oh, you know, these guys coming in and tell me why their stainless steel is better or this megajoule rating is better than this one and all this kind of shit. But I do remember this one fella, Adrian Hurley, came in, who was a SilverChef guy. I'd never heard of the brand SilverChef before, ever. And he was pretty casual, pretty laid back, nice guy. And he just dropped a pamphlet on my desk and he goes, mate, I'm not going to nail you with this shit for now. But have a flick through that. I'll take you out for a coffee in a week or two. Let's catch up. And I was like, you're my kind of guy, regardless.
So I didn't like sitting in a classroom for 8 hours a day.
Thank you, man. That's exactly right.
The coffee sounds good.
Yeah, you got it nailed, 100%. And but what happened, man, was the pamphlet in itself. Like I just kind of looked at it and went. Immediately, there were some things in there, clever marketing that kind of got my attention. Like I said, dude, I've been in hospitality my whole life. Never heard of SilverChef before. Never heard of Rent Try Buy before. But I looked at it and I'm like, oh man, that makes a lot of sense. And probably had had I or my mates known about this over the years, that probably we would have gone out and had a crack at a business ourselves.
Yep.
So I rung around to just all of the people that I come up with in the industry. Have you heard of this? What do you think? Just testing my thinking. And ultimately, like, the feedback was pretty much like, yeah, that sounds amazing. And so then, mate, I think, I think I know this about myself now, but I'm quite a curious person. You already told me off when we started chatting before we got on air to go, this is my podcast, don't ask too many questions, which I'll get to that in a minute. But as, like, hospitality folks would walk into my showroom, and I was just curious, man. Like, I just wanted to know who they were, what's the business they're building, where's the location, what's the menu, how are they thinking about it? And what happened over time is that I learned a lot about hospitality folks. I learned all the coolest new places to go and get coffee and food, which I loved.
Yep.
But also, man, because I started to understand the way that Rent Try Buy worked, that the more questions I asked, the more I realised that these folks have got all these problems, or there's all this uncertainty, all these reasons why they're heading into the big unknown. And I could just say, hey guys, like, do what you like, but, you know, here's a view. If you haven't heard of SilverChef before or Rent Try Buy, you should, and here's why I think it might work for you.
And you would have come with a lot of credibility too, because you had been in a kitchen, you had been in food service businesses before. And I think that plays a big part when chatting to people, because I've seen it happen with my own staff.
Of course.
The customer listens a little bit differently, and we take the information a little bit differently.
I think you're right. I always took the approach, and I think it's like the right approach, is I never wanted to start a conversation with, I've been a chef for 100 years, let me tell you some stuff. But there's ways of, like, inferring things without kind of being overt about it, which I think helps build that credibility and relationship too.
It's like a mutual understanding. It's like
it is, man.
This guy knows where I'm coming from. This guy knows my challenges.
Yeah, for sure. And cares. Like, 'cause I think that's the other part too, is, like, genuinely, man, hospitality, like I said, it's given me everything. I love this industry. I love the people in it. And that's not a hard position to share. Like, it's just such a natural thing for me to kind of get excited about.
Yeah.
But mate, what happened then, I didn't know this at the time, but obviously my name started rocking up on a bunch of lists back in the SilverChef head office, and it got some attention. And and mate, I had the incredible fortune of meeting Alan English, the founder, while he was the chairman all those years ago.
A gentleman.
Absolute gentleman, entrepreneurial, off the charts on entrepreneurial scale.
And the amount of charity stuff he does.
Oh man, he's an incredible human. But mate, you have to think about this for a second. Well, you don't have to, you can think about what you want. But how I think about this is, so I'm a high school dropout. I, like, lucked my way into this experience, found myself on some lists in some business I didn't know much about. And then this guy, Alan English, rocks up and asks me out for lunch. And I'm like, and I just sat down the first time just in awe. Like, I've never met anyone like him before in my life. And I was just like, this is mind blowing. And I learned a lot, man. I learned about his story. I learned about where the business had been built from. I learned about his philanthropic approach. I learned about leadership. He just opened my mind up to so many things. And then eventually they asked if we'd move the family to Melbourne from Adelaide and come and join SilverChef as a sales leader, which took probably about a year for us to make that decision. And in the end we did. And that was kind of 9 years ago, man. And I kind of joke about it now. I'm like the Stephen Bradbury of SilverChef, you know. I started as a sales leader, and now I just have the absolute privilege of sitting here with you, man, as the CEO, which is just mate, I'm just incredibly grateful for that experience, and it's pretty
testament
fun,
to you. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. It's a lot of fun, dude. It's a lot of fun.
So what happened next? So you have lunch.
Yeah, man. So we have lunch.
You're down in Melbourne now.
We moved the family, and mate, I don't know how much you probably remember, but I don't know. Call it 6 or 7 months after me moving the family to Melbourne, we had this beautiful office, St Kilda Road, on St Kilda Road. And when I first walked in, it felt like Google, man. And you got, like, my background here is just not this. So I walk in and there's 2 full fridges worth of food, there's 2 coffee machines, got guys and girls playing friggin' ping pong, we've got test match cricket on the tee. I'm just like, what is this place, man? It was unbelievable to me. It was such an odd experience. And they had this other business called Go Getter, which we won't spend much time on because it nearly sunk the business. So we're a listed company. I've just moved my family to Melbourne. And then 6 months later, I get pulled into a room with a couple of senior execs and they sit me down. Mind you, I'm a sales leader of like 4 people. I'm almost no one in this business, finding my way. And they make me sign this NDA and, hey, Jez, this is the announcement we're making and we want you to lead the Australian New Zealand sales team.
Yep.
And I was like, fuck, sure guys, like, where do I sign? Yes, is my answer. I walk out the room and like, what is going on, man? Yeah, it's like, and so that happened. And then over the next little while, it was a really tough time for SilverChef. And like, Go Getter got wound up. And because we were listed, there's like a ton of negative press constantly.
Sure.
And
being
so,
publicly listed, it's all out in the open.
all of it, getting media write-ups. And so, I'd spend a bit of time, so my job then effectively was to help the dealer sales team kind of get out and figure it out. And again, there was like an element here where those conversations felt easy for me. So if you think about what I would do is just rock up with people like yourself, and it wasn't hard for me to sit down and ask questions because I wanted to know about your business. Yep. And then I could see where we, SilverChef, could help that dealership.
Where we fit in this,
and how we can actually help, because I kind of lived it. And so I got to do that, and that was also a lot of fun. But kind of through that period, there was a lot of questions being asked. Yeah, man. Yeah, it was super tough. And then eventually, I mean, it's all out in the open. But eventually, these guys, Next Capital, came in and privatised the business, got us out of a bunch of debt, recapitalised us. And then we had a new CEO come in, and I'm still a kind of a sales leader. Yep. And so this guy, Philip Godkin, come in. He's still the executive director of the business today, and he's an absolute legend. Like, I feel like I've learnt as much from him as I have from anybody else, and still do today. Still have the privilege of having him play a major part in the business, which is awesome. And he just really came in, and I remember the first thing he said was he sat down at like an all hands, and he was like, "All right, team, been here for a little while, and there's 2 things that I've noticed is we've fallen out of love with our core product, rent, try, buy, and we've forgotten the most important stakeholder in this business outside of our customer base, which is hospitality equipment dealers." And I'm immediately like, mate, this guy's been here a week and figured this out.
It was spot on.
He nailed it, man. He absolutely assessed it perfectly well. There was also some risk parameter stuff in there. He's a 25-year experienced executive out of Westpac, so you could see things different from a risk perspective. And mate, he just went about his business, and he just started kind of helping pull us out of where we were. Meanwhile, you will remember COVID, of course. The half kicks in around the same time. And I remember so I'm like a sales guy, sales leader, trying to find my way in the world. And I remember sitting down with Philip and like shitting myself, and I was so scared. And we sat down and had a long conversation about certified used. Yep. Our kind of refurbishment capability, and I had some pretty strong views about it because I'd experienced it from a dealer standpoint, and I could clearly see some things in there that we could be doing better. And I guess I just wasn't backwards in coming forwards, man. And we had a long conversation about it. And then I remember having the opportunity to apply for the head of certified used as an executive, reporting to Philip, right? It's around this time. And I just thought, like, oh, what a crazy opportunity. So I threw my hat in the ring, and then a month later, I'm sitting on my first executive call with all these people that I've been looking up to for so long. Just feeling now I'm just so far from the smartest person in the room right now. But in that first call, man, you'll remember we all started
that imposter syndrome.
Oh, imposter syndrome, mate. Like, we should talk about that. But Very much so. And I remember the first executive call that I joined, right? So call it like, I don't know, it must have been, maybe it's February of 2020. I can't remember exactly, but it was like getting tough. And we had Skype going at the time, and because everyone's working from home, and the video wasn't working properly, so we went off, video was off. It's just a friggin' voice call on Skype, horrendous. And I can remember Philip explaining to the team, hey, you know, Jez has joined, head of certified used, and the first thing we're going to talk about is because of COVID's come in, we've done some calculations, and there's a real risk here that we have 10,000 pieces of equipment that come back from hospitality operators. Jez, what do you think about that? And I'm like, what the fuck have I gotten myself into? And I was so overwhelmed by it. Of course, the way that we organised ourselves and supported the industry through that, we really protected a lot of that downside risk. But my first experience sitting at that executive table is this is a major complex problem, and it's our job to figure out how to solve it. Get your hands on the equipment your business needs today. Rent, try, buy keeps your cash flow healthy. Stay flexible, stay in warranty, and upgrade when it suits your business.
We were able to pay wages because we weren't buying a $15,000 fridge.
I use SilverChef for all of my kitchen equipment, and it's helped me at Short Grain immensely.
Without SilverChef, we wouldn't have a restaurant today.
With SilverChef, we can expand our business faster and stronger.
Grow smarter with SilverChef.
And for the viewers that don't really understand what that means, SilverChef as an equipment funding company has all this equipment, all these assets out there, which during COVID, we know that a lot of restaurants didn't cope.
Oh, they were struggling hard.
And many of them closed, and many of them returned equipment back to your warehouse, where all of a sudden we're in a situation where people can't go and have a meal with their family out in a restaurant, and you had the problem of all of this equipment.
Well, before, and so like at that point, we're in crisis management, man, as you can imagine. So daily crisis management meetings, again, another wild experience that I'm in hindsight grateful for, because you learn some stuff. But at that point in time, like every 8 o'clock every morning, getting on with the execs, literally crisis management meetings, is that we'd done the forecasting.
And it was a moving problem, wasn't it?
Every day
depending on what the news was saying, was depending on what was going to happen that day.
100%, man. And so we were kind of modelling worst case scenario, which is where this number of this amount of equipment, because you're right, we have tens of thousands of pieces of equipment across 4 different countries at any given time, helping hospitality operators, right? But the beauty about the product and the downside risk potential for us is that at any point, that equipment can come back to us because effectively we own it. Hospitality operators can go, thanks guys, this didn't work, please take it back.
Which is one of the great benefits.
It's a beauty of it, man.
We'll touch on that
for hospitality operators, 100%. It's the core benefit. But for us at that point in time, like starting to figure out how do you manage that much volume. But again, like I credit particularly Philip and the team and how we thought about this with the support of the board. And it's going to sound incredible, but we tipped in $20 odd million worth of rent relief for our hospitality operators throughout that period. And so we gave rent relief to all of these hospitality operators, and then we gave them a long period of time to be able to pay that back for us. And we went hard and we went early. And I credit that to a few things. One is I credit it to our strength and longevity as a business, even today. Like we are here for hospitality. We understand it better than anyone else, and we operate in a way that supports that. But also we've done it in a way that helped the industry in their time of need. And I feel like we've got a lot of customers that have been able to trade their way through all of that. We figured it out. But what it meant for us was that, and then thankfully a lot of government support had come in, as you would remember. Yep. So the combination of those two things, in the end, man, we hardly got any equipment back. Most of our customers traded through, a vast majority of our customers traded through. And I never had to worry about the 10,000 pieces, mate. So it was good.
So good. But that's a testament to SilverChef and the whole ethos of the business. It's specifically dedicated just to the hospitality industry.
Yeah.
It is not an equipment funder where it come and finance your car, your tractor, your whatever it is that you need, your laser machine for the fact. It is purely about helping hospo.
Yeah.
And I think that's the core benefit of your business.
Yeah.
Because when our sales team talk to a customer about SilverChef and how it can help, completely different to your regular traditional lending through the big banks or through other means of getting finance.
Yeah.
And that's where our customers, they really feel it's like part of the hospitality family.
Yeah.
So when they come to us, they're part of the equipment supplier family because we're here to help them to select the right equipment, make sure that we do everything we can do to help their business succeed. So all of a sudden, from day one, we're on the same journey. We want to make sure that, Mr. Customer, you're successful. When we start talking about how they're going to pay for it or how they're going to finance it, SilverChef is different to any other product that we talk about because it is part of the hospitality family. It's dedicated to that.
100%.
And I want to touch on that because it's really important for my viewers, and we've got a lot of hospo viewers, that they understand the product. Some of them will already know about it.
Sure.
Some won't. Some are in the industry. Some are thinking about getting into the industry.
Yeah.
So rent, try, buy.
Yeah.
SilverChef, rent, try, buy.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
So maybe I feel like I'll do a condensed version of the Alan English story for its origin story, right? Because I think you've nailed it. The beauty about this, there's many things that are wonderful about this business, but that it, by definition, was built by hospitality people for hospitality people is still in its DNA today.
And just on Alan English.
Yeah.
I met Alan English and I was a young pup in the game.
Yeah.
And I looked up to him.
Yeah.
His experience, the way he spoke.
Yes.
His approach to things.
Yeah.
I was in awe.
Yeah.
Honestly. And
Love that,
you look up to people and, being young in the industry.
Yeah.
I was trying to learn as much as I could. And, you have that imposter syndrome because I was in a business where I built my way up through starting in the factory and then studying and then getting into sales and working my way up in a family business. I never wanted to be known as the boss's son.
Yes.
I didn't want to be known as, he got the manager job because he's the boss's son.
Yes.
I didn't want that.
Oh,
and that was the driver for me. I wanted to make sure that I did enough and led by example to show, he's actually a good leader. He's a good salesperson.
Yeah.
He's he's a nice guy.
On his own and stand alone.
Correct.
Oh man, I never really thought about that, dude. But that,
and that's where meeting Alan was just, for me, was a mentor.
Yeah, love that. I didn't know that actually, man. I feel like half of the industry our age, if you were around when he was around, you had a pretty similar kind of perspective with him, I think. If we get time, man, let's revisit that imposter syndrome thing because I reckon it can be a superpower if it's kind of channeled correctly.
Yep.
Anyway, so Alan, I'll give you the condensed version. Like, it's a story that's told often. We talk about it a fair bit as the business. And so wind the clock back, it's kind of 80s. Like I mentioned before, we're celebrating 40 years this year, which is pretty cool. Alan is effectively an importer and a hospitality dealer. He hears on the grapevine that there's all this great new conveyor pizza oven technology, leaving deck ovens for dead and all the rest of it. And that he hears that Pizza Hut are going to roll out this new technology to all their stores in Australia. So Alan, being the guy that he is, goes, I'm going to make the most of this. So shoots out to the US, signs a piece of paper that says he's going to have container loads of these ovens sent to Australia. And as the story goes, he leaves the factory, he goes to board the flight to come home, and he gets the invoice to pay for these pizza ovens. And in his mind, he's like, oh, fuck, like, I thought I would pay for them later. So he's on the plane on the way home figuring out, how am I going to even pay for these containers? So he gets home, decides he's going to mortgage everything because it's that big of an opportunity. Doesn't tell his wonderful wife that he's mortgaged everything, and he goes and does this. He's backing himself in, like entrepreneur through and through. Shoots off to Pizza Hut head office, containers are around the corner, and goes, all right guys, I'm ready to start doing the rollout. Pizza Hut go, awesome Alan, that's tops, but we're at least another year away. Yeah, so Alan's in some strife. but he backs himself in. He's like, I got some bills coming. It'll be fine. We've got these ovens. Love the technology anyway. So being the genuine sales guy that he is, literally goes door to door to all the local pizza joints using deck oven technology and says, hey, here's this oven. It's incredible. The operators love it. They're like, yep, that's amazing. How much? Alan goes $30,000. It's the 80s. Everyone laughs at him. This is, mate, we're a mum and pop pizza joint. How are we going to do that? So now Alan's in some strife. Bank is knocking on the door more frequently. And he's got a particular timeline where he has to generate enough revenue just to keep the house over his family's head. Mind you, his wife still doesn't know that this is impending. Pretty crazy. So he's lying in bed at night and he's like, oh, I've just got to generate some revenue here. I'm going to go back to those interested mum and pop pizza joints and I'm going to say, hey guys, why don't you try this oven, rent it off of me for X amount per week, give it a crack, it'll turn your business around. So it's just enough to get a few sales out the door in inverted commas, starts a few rental contracts. Rent try buy is born. He keeps the bank at bay. And so there it is. But where I think it gets, like my favorite part of this thing is where it gets super interesting, is he starts to roll out these pizza ovens to these folks who are picking up for rental. And he has no plan other than he had to pay the bills, right? It's literally built by friggin' accident, which I just think is, and as a side note, I had the pleasure of hanging out with some very smart, financially minded people who describe this accidental product as like a piece of financial engineering genius, which I think is hilarious. But actually the design in the product, Scotty, which is where it still resonates today, is that these hospitality operators, these pizza joint guys are like, hey, Alan, this oven is awesome, but you've put me in the small one. I'm ready for the big one. Can I upgrade the thing? And Alan's like, sure you can. Hadn't thought about it, reacted to a market dynamic that he saw, picked up the old oven, sent out a new oven, new rental contract, customers happy, everyone's happy.
Which is one of the core features today.
Still today. Anyway, as a sidebar, so now he's got this old pizza oven which he takes home, he cleans up and he goes and sends it off to another hospitality operator that couldn't afford the X amount per week before. He dropped the price a little bit, certified users born. Amazing. Other customers are like, hey, Alan, actually I love this, man. I've been in this oven for 6 months. It's completely changed my business. I'm making tons of money. I've actually got enough money to pay for it now. How much of my rent are you going to give me back through the payout process? And Alan's like, fuck, I don't know. I hadn't even thought about that. So you get literally his spreadsheet, figuring out what's a reasonable amount to charge some people. So a rebate structure is created. So now all of his customers are generating equity through the rentals that they're paying. And of course, today, that's how we know it to be, is that customers can pay out at any time and a percentage of the rent that they're paying is building equity in the asset. It's like, so when I say this thing was built by accident, love that because it's fun, but then actually the design of the features and benefits in the thing quite literally were built by people that were hospitality operators that saw value in it and said, can you add this feature? And
the real customer need.
Like 100%. It wasn't imagined up to say, here's a product that customers might like. It was literally designed by hospitality operators all those years ago. And mate, we have like, we could talk about it at length, but you know, we're in the US now, we've been out there for a couple of years and our business is like hard because we use a distribution channel that we're asking other salespeople that aren't our salespeople to talk about our product. But the one thing that's happening in the US that is happening even more than I expected it to is that these hospitality operators and these dealers are looking at us going, you can't do that, man. That's not, are you joking? You really, that rent try buy is a thing that you guys can do here? And we're like, we've been doing it for 40 years, 100%.
Is that completely new to the US? Like
completely
never been.
So as far as the US industry is concerned, this is like groundbreaking, innovative financial engineering, and we're like, yeah, man.
But then the sales guys get motivated by it, right? And they're out there
100%.
and they can talk to customers, say, check this out.
And that's what happens. That's the way the flywheel of momentum works. But I think the other part of this, Scotty, I love how you passionately kind of alley-ooped this conversation up for me, man. So I appreciate you. is like the and I've lived this experience as a hospitality dealer, is actually at our best, we can genuinely, not only do we help customers figure this out, but genuinely when we're integrated properly into a sales process for a hospitality equipment dealer or a dealer sales rep, we help to close more business, we help to lift margin. We have these other ways of being able to help market your capability. And it's something that I love the most about what we do is genuinely I could sit in front of hospitality dealers and go, guys, we should sit down and figure this out because I think we can help you to be a stronger business. And it's
from the
pretty unique
SilverChef
thing.
perspective, sorry to cut you off, from the SilverChef perspective, you're not only helping the customer at the end, but you're also helping your customer, which is also the dealer. So it's like a double prong where the customer at the end of the day is, and even beyond that, is the guy getting his coffee.
Well, 100%, man. We're so integrated in the industry.
Yep.
And you're right. Like it's the beauty about this thing, and I keep talking about how much I just love this business. The complexity of it is, man, we think very specifically about how do we make ourselves better for our partners, our dealers, because we just genuinely back ourselves in our ability to be able to help you to be a stronger business in this example, because when we're doing that together, the whole hospitality industry is lifted because together we're serving the people that are making the coffees, which ultimately the more successful they are, the happier their customer set is. And it's a broad ranging impact we have the ability to have. But genuinely, man, we're only able to have that. We are a small business of 400 odd people. The power of what we do actually sits in the relationship that we have with our partners. Because
and it
that's
makes
how
our
we
job
amplify the capability.
It makes our job a hell of a lot easier when we're sitting down with the customer talking about your product. Makes it so much easier.
Yeah, love that. Hey, thanks, man. Can we get back on? I'm not interested to hear a bit more about your story. This, like you mentioned, the kind of imposter syndrome stuff. Do you find that is? Do you still kind of deal with that in day-to-day stuff?
I think as I've gotten older now, in my 40s, less. But I think the biggest challenge I found personally was being in a managerial position, managing people, in some cases, double my age. That's where I felt like I really had a point to prove. I didn't want them to see me in the morning and say, you're just the manager because it's a family business and you're going to run it one day and that's why you're here. I never wanted that. And for me, that was the motivator. That was truly the motivator.
I get it, man. And did you end up having to so how did you manage that? Did you take on leadership, coaching and mentoring? You mentioned Alan before. Or was it a bit more kind of skin your teeth, so skin your knees, lose a few teeth?
I was always a jump in and sort of just go with the flow. But I learned so much from my dad. So much from my dad. Over the years, and it's funny, my dad had a business partner back in the day, and they both had their positives and their negatives, and I made sure that I took a little bit from both of them. So I took the positives from him and the positives from him. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that because it's a different generation now as well. We manage a little bit differently now. It's a different world. The world we're in today is completely different to when you and I were in our 20s. I took a little bit from everyone. I was lucky enough to be in some circles where I met some really smart dudes and was able to sit down and have lunches and have dinners and have business chats and maybe be in a position where a lot of people my age probably weren't. And I was able to use all of those people as mentors and learn as much as I could. And then it helped sort of pave me and what I wanted to do. And diversification became a big thing for me, where I wanted to be involved in 3 or 4 different things. I didn't want to be a one-hat man. And that's had its challenges. Time is limited. Patience is limited.
So you thought you should start a podcast, mate? Just add one more thing in the mix.
Throw one in
there. Love it.
And I probably didn't realise how much work was involved. I looked at it and said,
can't be that hard.
Just talk for an hour. That's easy. But then you forget all the other side of it. And Yash does all the hard work anyway.
It's good. Love that. He celebrates himself in the background.
He's got his hands up. But I realised how much is involved and how difficult it is to get in front of the right eyes. and really get the point across.
From the
Because-
marketing standpoint, do you mean? Yeah.
and that's where Yash does a lot of great work in that. But yeah, all the different platforms, you know, with Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and Spotify and Apple Music, and I'm learning all about that. Hey, I sell deep fries. Like, podcasting's not my thing.
No, that's not true at all.
So
Man. You're playing down.
this has been a really fun journey, and then the property stuff that I do as well. So I've always tried to diversify. Always tried to wear a few different hats.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy that pace.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I like that. I get a phone call and I'm not sure which business it's involving, and I have to deal with it on the spot. And I actually like that.
Yeah. I think it's a pretty rare thing. I feel like I understand that in a different way. If I reflect on my own day to day, like there's a few things I care a lot about, you know, when I kind of recap on a day is like how's the human connection been for the day? Like whether it's my team or broader than that. Like I feel like my joy and sense of happiness or fulfillment is linked directly to that human connection stuff. It's probably something that I've learned later in life. But then when I kind of look at the list of meetings or interactions that I have during the day, they're so vast and so different and there's no time to often there's no time to switch gears between a board level conversation or an investor level conversation versus a salesperson that's got a problem with a particular account and everything in between.
How do you manage stress being in your role? Do you meditate, exercise? You know, because obviously we're in business, we've got crazy days, jumping from job to job. The head can get frazzled. We've got wife and kids. Like we've got all of these commitments. How do you just chill? How do you get the head right?
Yeah, I reckon it's an ongoing battle. Like, and it really depends on the peaks and troughs of the complexity of the day, and not just in business, at home, of course, with a family, as you know. Like those things, they're incredibly important to carve out time for. So I think there's a few things that I kind of base myself in. Like, I probably, arguably, I spend too much time thinking about the supplements or vitamins or stuff that I'm putting in my body that help me to like cut corners when I'm in a hurry in terms of the food that I might eat, as an example. Sleep is a big one for me, man. I know that less than 7 hours for me and I'm not at my best. So I prioritize sleep and exercise. Man, I'm in my, like, it's just like funny to say, I'm sure it'll induce an eye roll, but I'm doing like a lot of hot mat Pilates. I've spent a lot
the
of time as a kid.
Like Bikram yoga sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
more like, it's like hot, and it's probably more like aerobic based exercises in heat and a bit of strength stuff. It's like a hot.
And is it on a reformer?
No,
bed?
not the reformer. So it's mat. And so you think about, like, I think they call it plyometric kind of training. It's like that with lightweight, repetitive stuff, 45 minutes, sweat your ass off, nearly die every time, that kind of punishment sort of shit. It sounds horrible, but I do love it. I spent a lot of time doing weights as a kid.
Reminds you of the kitchen, that's why.
Well, maybe I never put those two things together there, but now you say that, that's exactly what it is. You're just trying to just scrape yourself over the finish line every 45 minutes.
I want a high pressure situation and I want it to be hot. And I want to feel really good afterwards when it's all done.
Actually, shit, man. This is like, I should lie down. This is like therapy. I think you just taught me something. So I do a bit of that. And the way I think about this, Scotty, like for that is like, and mate, I heard it described this before, it's like, moderate infinity. So I don't do like sprints of like 7 days a week of training and like tight diet and drink this and do that. I don't operate that way, but I just consistently try to make moderately good decisions. If I can walk somewhere, I'll walk somewhere. So sleep, exercise. And honestly, man, I don't drink as much now as I used to either. I find that one messes with sleep, which is a big one.
I cut it out during the week. Since COVID, actually.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us
fall in a hole pretty quick. For sure.
Monday to Thursday, don't touch it unless I'm out for a dinner or something. We have a glass of wine. But at home, Melinda and I won't drink. And then that beer on a Friday tastes good. And I don't have to have 10. I don't have to anymore. You know what I mean? I will if I want to, but I don't have to have 10.
I feel like I feel like the opportunity to binge drink is fun sometimes. Probably not the best thing for you, but I definitely enjoy that
The
still.
Saturday morning sport hurts though.
Oh, it's
Driving the kids
brutal.
around.
Oh my god, yeah,
It hurts.
yeah. It's
So that's probably a good.
it's a motivator. And so, what about you, man? How do you manage it? Do you you have like a routine, or what, how do you think about
5:30
it?
a.m. I'm up. I've got a little gym set up at home.
Yeah,
That's my time.
yeah. And is it mainly
kids are not awake.
lifting weights and that kind of stuff? Yeah, yeah.
Yep. I've got a TV there. I put some sport on,
Yep.
or I put my headphones on.
Yep.
Do a bit of weights. There's a little treadmill and a little bike if I want to do a bit of cardio as
Yeah.
well. Or some mornings I get up, just take the dog for a walk,
Yeah.
go to the beach.
Yeah.
Just it's my time.
Yep.
That 1 hour in the morning before the kids get up,
Yep.
that's mine.
Yeah, I love that.
And sometimes, look, I try not to, but sometimes I end up planning my day,
Sure.
which cuts into my gym time. But even that has its own positive
Yeah.
because I then get up, the kids get up, I'm present.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking about, oh shit, I got to do this, got to do that, because I've already recorded it, made some notes, or put it in the
Yeah.
diary. And that's the best way to start my day. I try to eat good.
Yeah.
Starting to take a few supplements and stuff just for what I need. When I had my blood tested recently, actually, to check for testosterone levels, because I'm just curious, because as in our 40s,
Yeah.
our testosterone drops. So I haven't got the results yet, but I'm going to find
Fingers
out
crossed.
just to know what's going on with the body.
Love
just
that,
to-
man. I think it's
yeah.
important, mate. Like, I think that I love the idea that you get stuff out of your head. Like, write it down. I'm big into that too. I run lists because if it's out of my head and I can organise it somewhere that I can revisit, I feel like that's like a decluttering of the mind, which is super valuable.
Melina's tried to get me to journal,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I find it hard. Like I've done
Yeah.
it. Like it sits in my,
Yeah.
I sit on the bed and I just like journal. And I find now, so this is a few years ago, every time I look at it, like I flick back,
Yeah.
it's when things are really tough.
In the
That seems
moment, or you're journaling when it's tough?
So there's something going on in my life at that time, whether it be business or whatever. I'm finding that I pick up the journal and write when something's tough, which has sort of made me think, is that because I'm feeling like I just need to maybe put it on paper to help me then get through it?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's interesting because I never just journal for no reason.
For the fun of it, love that. Oh, yeah, journaling is such a... I feel like I would struggle with that one, I think. I feel like I see the attraction in it. Do you know...
Give it a try.
I think I might, man.
Give it a try. Just keep a little notepad by the bed.
But you just prompted me like I know one thing I do now, I know more about now that helps me is I listen to music a lot actually. And at my highest stress levels when if I have the opportunity to like put some noise cancelers on and pick, even if it's just 3 or 4 tunes that I can just listen to, something happens to me that is the most impactful kind of de-stressor. So like in short-term bursts, I'll do a bit of that too.
Isn't it amazing how music can change a mood completely?
Yeah, man.
Like we've always got music playing in the house.
Have you? Yeah, yeah.
And when it's not playing,
Yeah. Something feels off.
I listen to everything. I listen to anything from hardcore rap hip hop
Yeah.
to Frank Sinatra.
Oh man, you're right across the whole
Jazz,
spectrum.
blues,
Yeah.
pretty much anything except classical. You
Yeah.
know what I've been listening to recently
Tell
and
me.
just having a ball with
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Country and Western. I'll
Oh.
tell you why. Because I don't know any country and Western artists, but I love the accent.
Yeah, got
so
it.
I just make the kids laugh. I just start singing with this, Southern twang.
Yeah,
Like
cool.
I just start making up my own songs like about, I'm making wheat bags. Like and the kids start pissing themselves.
I can see
So
why.
music changes the mood.
I love that, man. That's fun as. And is it like, do you have that kind of hardcore rap stuff? Is that because you listened to it through the 90s?
As a kid?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All Ice Cube, Snoop, all that stuff back
Love
in the
that,
90s.
yeah.
I still love it.
Yeah.
Still love it.
I think there's something special about the nostalgia of that too. Like I have like a playlist that I'll go to that was specifically from the 90s.
Yeah.
And there's some it's just like a beautiful, and actually if I reflect on it, your commentary on journaling when things are hard, actually what I find myself drawn back to when I'm struggling like with stress or anxiety and these kind of things is I'll go back to that music, that playlist from the 90s. There's something about that is calming. It's an odd thing, man.
Do you know what is awesome? My 14-year-old son is learning guitar.
Cool.
He loves all the 90s. He's playing Nirvana,
Yeah, dude. Yes.
Pearl Jam,
Yes.
Metallica.
So good.
And I'm like hearing him up in the bedroom and I'm like,
yes.
Melina, can you hear this?
Yeah.
It's like, how does he even know this song?
That's the best, man.
It's so good.
That
Because if
is
he was
so
playing
good.
stuff like, say, from today,
Yeah.
I wouldn't know it.
No, I'm with you on that.
He's
for
playing
sure.
the old stuff,
Yeah.
and I'm like, and now I'm like in his room, I'm like, oh, play that
Yeah.
play that Guns N' Roses song.
Yeah.
Can you do I'm
How
making
long has he been
requests.
playing guitar for?
A year?
Yeah, cool. He's picking it up.
He's good.
Yeah.
He didn't get it from me.
No. Where did he get it from? At all?
I think my father-in-law, he's got the music side. He's a singer, so I think he got maybe some music talent from there because he did not get it from me. Or Melina. Melina doesn't play an instrument.
But you obviously, like, music is a thing that's in the house, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
reckon that happens. It's funny you mentioned country. Our youngest, he plays guitar too, and he's picked up Luke Combs. Like, we don't do country in Western in our house. It's like probably one of a few topics that just are like playlists that never come up. And he plays baseball. Coming home from baseball training a couple of nights ago, and I like this in the car. I'll just hand my phone around and go, kids, cue some stuff up. And he rolls out 3 or 4 Luke Combs songs back to back, like just cranking the guitar solos and shit. I was like, yeah, that's cool, man. Good on you. That's fun. Not anything I would listen to.
I love it.
Yeah. No.
We digress a lot in my podcast. Just in case you
I'm
haven't,
enjoying it, man. I forgot
in
we were
case
doing
you
a
haven't-
pod.
Sometimes
Yep.
you forget that the camera and the lights are on and we're just chatting.
Good.
But that happens.
Straighten us up, man. What else should
All
we
right,
talk about?
So important for our listeners.
Yep.
They're thinking about starting a restaurant or a cafe. Rent, try, buy. Instead of traditional funding methods or using cash, because when you're starting up a business, you need to preserve cash. You got to make sure you've got cash for marketing, cash to pay bills for a certain amount of time while you build the business. You've got all these expenses. We know the challenges in hospo. So to preserve that capital, we go for a rent, try, buy alternative. Now, I'm renting a 2-group coffee machine. We'll use the coffee machine as an example. I've got this cafe set up. I'm now renting a coffee machine 2-group. The business is going gangbusters. The 2-group's not enough. SilverChef gives me the ability to return that and upgrade to a 3-group. I use coffee machine as an example because
It's an easy one, yeah.
2 to 3. Let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, spot on. I think there's so many different like in a way, maybe a simplified way to think about this is to go, it's choose your own adventure. You know, actually there's a great example, there's a live example now, which I might walk you through right now, which is like across the whole gamut of why this product works, particularly in startup, but man, you could apply this thing in infinite different ways. But there's a little pizza joint down in Adelaide there that I know well. So this guy, no real hospitality background, call it maybe 5 or 6 years ago, starts playing around with some pizza dough. He built his own yeast, grew his own yeast, called it Clint Yeastwood, the whole bit. Started it was pretty good. Started an Instagram following, and he got a bit of a following because he had a Bunnings little pizza oven that he was messing around with at home, and he made some cool pizzas. He did a bunch of research, loved it. Took a gig on at a pizza joint in Adelaide as a part-time thing a few days a week, slinging pizzas in there to learn about how it worked. And it kind of bit him pretty hard, and he decided that at some point he wanted to start his own pizza joint. So he rang us and he wanted to kind of figure out a cheap way to test his kind of this idea, because it was just an idea. Young kid, like young family. So needed a low risk way, but he needed to get this out of his system.
But he had this little business plan. He wanted to,
man, and he thought his way through it. So things that he knew was he was going to use food delivery service. So he needed a small footprint shop with low rent, which I thought was clever. Got himself a short-term rental in this little place. Rang us up and said, hey, I want to get in, start my pizza joint. Here's 3 things that I need from you, and I want to get in there as cheap as I possibly can. So we put him into a certified used Moretti Forni iDeck oven. We gave him an upright fridge, a little under-counter, 2-door under-counter fridge, and a prep fridge. Less than a couple of $100 a week, and now he's up and running. He sets his shop up for 3 days a week, launches it on Uber Eats, sells out first night. Sells out second night, third night. So over the next kind of 3 or 4 months, he's figuring out his processes. He's just one guy in there, just hacking away at some pizzas, and he just keeps selling out through.
But he can see he's onto something.
He's figured it out. And he's got limited space in his shop, and he's got a particular way he wants to do things. So he rang us back, and he's like, guys, this you know, this actually isn't working now. I need more capacity. We're like, all right, well, what we're going to do is we'll put you in contact with one of our dealers, and a pizza specialist is going to be able to walk you through your choices here. So that dealer puts him into a conveyor pizza oven. There's a link here, by the way, but anyway, puts him into a conveyor pizza oven, which is a far better outcome for him as a business, advises him through that process. So then that pizza dude upgrades himself out of the iDeck oven, puts himself into a conveyor pizza oven, and then triples his capacity practically overnight. And then 3 weeks later, he's selling out again. Yeah. So now he's got a storage issue. He rings us up and he goes, hey man, these 2-door fridges that you've got me in, they're nowhere near enough size for me now. Can I please upgrade into some 3-doors? So we put him into a 3-door fridge and a 3-door under counter and get him a bigger bench, sends back all the other shit. He's probably spending 3 or 4 times more now on rent because he needs to. Doesn't matter because he's proven it. Hires a few kids to help him with dishes. And I was actually only speaking to him last week. He rang up and he's like, man, I'm ready to go again. So in the next few weeks, he's going to put a second oven on top of his conveyor oven and he'll double his capacity again. And
Love it.
Just put a cool room in. And the beauty about all of this is he did all of that in a really low risk environment, man, because he had an idea, but he wasn't sure. So he needed to figure it out. He didn't have tons of capital behind him. So to your point, he wanted to hang on to it because he wanted to be clever with his marketing.
Yeah.
And we see this a lot, like particularly for our customer base, is the starting position is they hang on to their cash. You said that. Yeah. And it's absolutely real, man. Like you need, in our industry and the way that it works is you need that air gap between yourself and those bills.
Absolutely.
But not just to pay the bills and the super and the ATO and all the shit that has to happen and your lease and all of that. It's like, how opportunistic can you be when you see a marketing opportunity to tip some money into? If you don't have the flexibility to be able to do that, you're never going to be as successful as you can be. If you need to hire some people to help you to do some dishes, mate, paying for your equipment on with credit card or cash or a 4-year lease is not going to help you take that cash and tip it into some people, young kids that can kind of help you make life easier. It's one example, man. But the other thing, and I didn't mention this yet, but that pizza dude, because he's decided that his first oven is actually the right oven for him and he can stack and make that better. So now he's decided my business is going well enough. I don't want to keep renting that thing. So we'll put him on a pathway to ownership, man. We'll give him a cheaper discount into that rental. And over the next 2 years, he'll pay that down. He'll then own that oven.
Yep.
And that's the right approach, man, because you don't want to be renting this shit forever if you can avoid it.
Yep.
If you don't need, once you get yourself sorted and you get yourself up and running and you believe in it for the most part, those large plant equipment stuff, cool room, large pizza oven that you know is going to be a 10-year pit of your business. And we also provide the ability for people to be able to do that in a meaningful way.
And we're seeing it at Hospitality World, where when a customer walks in and the media is all about doom and gloom and interest rates are going up and hospitality venues are closing and public holiday surcharges because wages are so high, it gets a bad rap all the time.
Does, man. Why do you reckon that is, man? It gets slammed in the media.
I don't know what it is. Maybe because Melbourne has such a big coffee and eating out culture that it's such a big part of everyone's life. So then the moment things start to get a bit tough in the economy, everyone starts talking about hospo.
Yeah.
But we find that when we sit down and talk to customers that come in, a lot of that's mitigated because a lot of the risk is taken off the table. In a way, SilverChef takes on the risk with the restaurateur.
Yeah.
It takes on that risk. So, hey, we're willing to back you on your business. And something I want to touch on, which I think is really important, for anyone who's ever gone and got a loan from one of the big banks, the amount of information that they need to give, the amount of paperwork they need to give. SilverChef is a low doc, very minimal information, pre-approval in many cases. You know, it could be up to say 50 or 60 grand, where they don't have to spend it, but it gives them that peace of mind that as their business starts trading, it's just a matter of picking up the phone, call up their dealer and say, hey, I need another fryer. This is going really, really well. Or, you know,
no, man, thanks, dude. That's such it's such an important point. Like, I think what's absolutely real is the way I've explained the kind of the product and the way that it was designed and how it was built. And all of that is real. But an accidental byproduct of this is the way that we think about risk, and our risk share model is kind of standing next to a hospitality operator and going, hey man, we're going to back you in here.
Yep.
Maybe you don't have house in an equity, you don't have equity in a house, and maybe you don't have a long-standing credit file and all these kind of things. In a lot of cases, man, you're a brand new ABN.
Yep.
And no one's going to touch you.
Yep.
No other lender is going to get near that. But because of the way the business is built and the way that we think about our asset management, I gave the examples of where a piece of equipment could come back to us. Well, we own that piece of equipment, which is the shared risk. And at any point, a hospitality operator can go, hey, I'm crushing it. Can I pay for this thing? Sure. Yep. But also, they have the ability to maybe upgrade it, or at the end of that 12 months, flick that piece of equipment back to us if it's not doing what they need. Yeah. That means that we have a pretty unique position to be able to take on risk. Well, actually, you can't. No one can do what we can do,
yep.
particularly in new startups. Yep. And you're right, man. We'll back people in very easily and very quickly into that $50,000, $60,000 deal.
Yep.
And again, I'll use that example from our pizza joint. He probably started with less than $10,000 worth of equipment because he
yep.
was having a crack.
Yep.
And I think in that sense, if I reflect on when SilverChef's been going through harder times, certainly the feedback from the industry is, man, you need to be here for us. We help, we have an ability in that supporting that entrepreneurial spirit of people that want to get in and have a crack, is we'll back people in like no one else will. But we do it in a sensible way that works for us as a business.
Yep. And
then ultimately, and when that equipment comes back, for you and your sales team, if someone comes in and they're looking for an expensive bit of kit, they like this particular brand, but they can't afford that, we provide options. You'll have options in equipment selection. We'll also be able to provide options in maybe that same brand that's been refurbished, and you still can solve that problem.
Yep. Which is a great point, because we get a lot of customers that come in and say, do you have used equipment here in the showroom? And we have very little.
Yeah.
But we have obviously the certified used list from you guys, which we say, absolutely, we've got heaps of secondhand gear that we can show. What do you need? And then we can actually replace a lot of that equipment, which helps you guys because you've got a lot of gear in your warehouse, but also helps our customer who gets a slightly cheaper rent. They're not buying something on Marketplace, which breaks down, and we know the service costs in commercial equipment, whether it be gas or refrigeration, can be very costly. So they're getting something that's been looked at
and warranted, man, as well. We'll back it in. I think that's such a good point. I think that even if I reflect on my time as a dealer, like one of the things that I would love, exactly like you've described, is like, say for my competition out there, because it's a cutthroat game, is if there's a list of 15 or 20 pieces of equipment on a list that I was quoting for, I would cheekily substitute 2 or 3 of them for a refurbishment piece of equipment. I would clearly outline that for the customer, drop the cost by 5 or 10 grand,
and opens their eyes to say, hey,
which no one
save
else
a few $1,000.
Yeah, man, that's exactly right. So again, it's like another one of these examples where our business is so unique that there's many layers to the way that it can help the industry, whether it be business like yourself or the hospitality industry themselves, or the operators themselves. It makes it a fun business to be in.
So key points to recap, I think. Low doc applications.
Yep. Speed needs.
Flexibility. So if I want to return that item and upgrade it, I can. Now, when you are a startup, that is a massive benefit. Massive, because we all have in our head what we think we're going to do, but reality tells us, sometimes kicks us in the ass, this is what's actually going to happen. So sometimes you got to go bigger, got to go smaller, whatever it may be. So flexibility. If I decide to purchase it, I get
you get a discount,
percentage back of my rent,
and there's a pathway to ownership, ready to rock and roll. 100%.
Pathway to ownership. What else do we need to cover as key points?
No, man, I think that's about it. I think you've laboured the main kind of features and benefits. I think the best thing, if people are genuinely thinking of expanding their business or getting themselves started up or replacing a piece of equipment, I'll just encourage people to jump on the website, have a look around, get into a conversation with one of our wonderful people. They're genuinely here to help. We are absolutely here to help. Whether you're a hospitality dealer, an existing hospitality operator, or someone that just wants to get in and have a crack. One of the things that I love about the business that Alan built all those years ago product amazing, business amazing, but he figured out a way to hire great people.
Yep.
It's one of the best things about who we are is for any hospitality person that wants to get in and chat to someone who knows what they're talking about and can give you good advice and figure out how to help you, it's our team, man, 100%.
I love that. I mean, look, I can speak from experience being a SilverChef dealer. When we sit down with our customers, many a time the customer that comes in may or may not know about the product. So the ones that do know about the product, generally our clients already. We've already sold them equipment, they're renting it, and they've come in for some more. So we don't just deal with the new startups because SilverChef is fantastic for the startups. No questions asked. Someone who's doing it for the very, very first time, that's where it's a real partner in your business. But we've got clients that we've been dealing with for years and love the product. And add-on items, they've had contracts with items that they've ended up purchasing and owning. They've had contracts with equipment they've returned. The flexibility is there. And that's something that we can speak for because we've seen it. We see it every single day.
Yeah, man, it's so true. And I think like the other thing I don't know, sometimes it can be a misconception. A few things though. 45% of our customer base are existing customers. Like on a month-by-month basis, circa half of the people that we're doing business with are people that are coming back to revisit the product because of the way that it works, which is like a real point of pride for us. But there's obviously the startups and the ease of the access to the capital. There's the people that are replacing the ones and twos in replacement pieces. A couple of the other things that we see a lot of our customers are doing, and I reckon right now it feels as clever as anyone, is that they're taking a space in their kitchen and maybe they're doing a brunch and a lunch trade, but they don't want to do a full service, a full dinner service, is that they'll take an idea, maybe do some fried chicken or some dumplings from an Uber Eats standpoint and effectively start up, well, a lot of people are calling kind of dark kitchens. But it's like, I just look at that and I go, that is just genius, man. You have a small footprint, you've got one staff member that can fulfill orders and have a crack. And why that works, why we're able to do that for people is if you have you're a hospitality operator and you have an idea that you would like to try, mate, we can put you in a piece of equipment, 12 months, have a crack at it, and if it works and you create revenue, man, we're all happy. Buy the thing, you're loving it. If it doesn't work, upgrade it into something else and have another crack at something else. This entrepreneurial ability that we support, which you know is big in our industry, is what makes it so cool. The other side of it is, man, I won't tell you who, but we're working with a number of large branded QSRs. You would know the names. And they're rolling out a new menu concept across all of their stores. So what we're saying is, hey, man, if you're a franchisee in this example, we're going to give you pre-approval, direct access, get in there, have a crack at this piece of equipment. If it doesn't generate the revenue that you like, flick it back to us and we'll find a new home for that piece of equipment. Mate, no cash can do that. No credit card can do that. No friggin' leasing company.
Absolutely.
It's not just about the SMEs, man. We are a business that is through and through about hospitality, and we friggin' love it, dude.
We've seen lots of trends go through the industry. You know, we've seen burger trends, yogurt, acai bowls, all sorts of stuff. What do you think? You see any trends on the horizon coming to the hospo world?
I don't know, man. I think that I feel like the people care more and more about their health and wellness now than ever before. And maybe that's not a specific food trend, but I think that I feel like that's what we're going to consistently see more of. Are people going to care more about the food that they're putting in their body? And our industry will support that. Certainly there's a lot less booze being drunk than in our era. I feel like you see people way more likely to go and take a brunch on a Sunday morning than drink till 4 o'clock in the morning. These young kids have got it sorted, mate, I'm telling you. I think there's a bit of that. And I don't know, man, like I saw some stats the other day where in the US especially, actually, like the pizza trade seems to be taking a dip. I don't think that's the case out here so much. I feel like things like pizza and burgers, like I remember friggin' 15 years ago thinking, how many more burger joints do we actually need out here? You know, personally, I think we should have as many as we can have. But I feel like there's the staples that we love that we'll continue to see.
We're running out of time. I've got some quick fire questions for you.
What do you got? Yep.
These are rapid fire questions.
Cool.
Don't think too much. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Best city in Australia for food?
Oh, damn you. Vancouver or Melbourne. Yep.
Biggest splurge you've ever made?
My wake boat.
One business that you wish you started?
Had I known SilverChef existed, Renee and I would have actually started a cafe down on the corner of Jetty Road and Esplanade at Brighton in Adelaide. I certainly wish we did that, but Jesus, I'm glad that we didn't, man, because sitting here with you today is way more fun.
Early mornings or late nights?
Used to be late nights, probably more early mornings.
One word your team would use to describe you?
Hyperactive.
Go-to meal?
Chicken and some kind of potato. Yep. And you could have it in any way, dude. Like fried chicken, grilled chicken, whatever. Just chicken
Not
and potato.
biggie.
Yeah.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Go-to karaoke song?
Oh, dude, I'm the worst singer you've ever heard in your life. It's got to be something like Walk on the Wild Side.
Love it. Dream car?
I feel like a early 70s Charger, the Australian version, and I'd go like a 340 4-speed.
Something noisy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Gut feel or data?
My team would definitely say gut feel, but I just not quick fire. Data's so freaking important, man. But on a line ball call, I'm definitely more instinct than I am data. Yep.
If you could have dinner with one person, anybody.
Anybody, anywhere?
Anybody, anywhere.
Oh, that's an easy one, man. My dad. Yeah, dude. My dad passed away 5.5 odd years ago, and mate, if I could, yeah.
That's special.
For
I
sure.
love that.
Yeah.
Man, thank you for coming on the show.
Dude, this has been so much fun, man. We ripped through some topics.
And we spoke a little bit about SilverChef.
A little bit,
spoke
yeah.
About everything else.
I love
it.
my marketing team's going to be pumped. I love how you kept shuffling a stack in there, man. I really appreciate you. Good on you.
That's my job.
It is,
I got to
like
keep an eye on the watch and
Yeah.
say, okay, we got to make sure what are we here to chat about? But that's what I love about this podcast. It's just people
Hey, you
having
made it super
conversation.
easy, man. Thank you. My first hit out. The cherry has popped, and I really appreciate you, man.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you do plenty more now.
I definitely have. Thank
As
you
soon
so
as this
much.
goes live, you're going to be getting phone calls.
I hope I do, man. Please get me, line me up. Either that, or there'll be like 3 views, and you won't even publish it.
Thanks again for coming on. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to another episode of the Scottie G Show. You know the usual. I say this at the end of every single episode. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, do all that. The more support I get, the more awesome guests I can get on the show, just like Jeremy. So please keep the love coming. Keep the comments coming. Ask us any questions. And remember, if there's anybody that you think that you would love me to interview on the show, feel free, just shoot us a message. Jump on the website. You can send us an inquiry through there or just contact us on the socials. The more people we can get sharing awesome stories, the better. So thanks again, and we'll see you next time.